So what we're going to be looking at is supply. And supply is a little bit different than demand. Because when we saw demand, when price goes up, what happens to demand? Goes down. And when price goes down, demand goes up, right? And that's the law of demand. When I look at supply, supply is basically the amount producers are willing and able to offer at various different prices. So if you're a seller and you want to sell something, do you want to offer it at the lowest price?
Yes. No.
Why not? You get more, you're not going to make money, right? And so we're going to see suppliers do not think like demanders. And we're going to see a supplier is motivated by profit. So if he sells at the lowest, he's not going to be able to get much profit. And eventually we'll talk about people who do that in the future. But the law of supply states that if the price of an item goes up, the quantity supplied will increase. If the price of an item goes down, the quantity supplied would decrease. And this is a direct relationship. It's a positive relationship. And we see that they want to supply more at higher prices because their profits will increase. And at lower prices, there's not an incentive. So if you sell something at the lowest possible price and you are not making anything off of it, are you selling yourself short? Okay, so I was just reading an article. How many of y'all know of DoorDash? Okay, do y'all like using DoorDash? Yes, that means you don't have to go to the place. But I was reading an article about all of these people who ordered DoorDash, but they gave no tip. If you were the DoorDash person, would you want to pick that up? No. So when we order DoorDash, we make sure we give a $10 tip. Does our DoorDash get to us? Why? What is the incentive for that DoorDash person? They get $10, right? They're more than likely going to do that. I hate going to Kroger at Midlothian. But we do the, I don't know, it's Click It or Ticket or I don't know what it is. And I give a $15 tip because I'm like, it's like about $7 in gas to go there. My time. So I'm going to give $15 for that. Do I get my stuff delivered? Yes. If I were to give no tip, would I get that delivered? And there's a reason why DoorDash, they were looking at people who went to Taco Bell. I don't know how many of you like to freaking Taco Bell. Some people, and they like their nacho fries. That's it. Okay? My husband likes their tacos. I don't care about them. And it was just recently here, and I asked about this article. I was like, do y'all have a lot of DoorDash food stacked up? And they're like, yes. I was like, well, I asked them, is there any tip with that DoorDash? And they say, usually no. So does that DoorDash worker who is on his own business, he is the supplier, right? He's moving that stuff. Does he have any desire to pick that up? Because on average, DoorDash only pays $3. But how much of that $3 goes to their gas? All of it. So is there any tip? No. So have you ever wondered if I don't know how y'all tip on DoorDash, but do y'all tip relatively well? Some of you have never thought about that, right? And so some people's DoorDash never get delivered because they're not giving tips. Does this follow that law of supply now? Yes. Okay. And so there was this one day we were poolside and I didn't want to go get food. And I was in Plano because we were out there. And I ordered and I gave a $20 tip. It took over 2 hours for us to get our pizza. Was that a good tip? But were there other people supplying more tip? Yes. And so for that $20, it took 2 hours for us to get the thing, and I thought that was a good tip, right? But were there other DoorDash people out there that had better tips that they could have gotten off stuff? And so I don't know if y'all use Uber, DoorDash, I don't even know what else is out there to deliver to you, okay? But do y'all realize that this all applies to that? And so if you ever got a delayed DoorDash, no one ever got a delayed DoorDash, they're just really good hair and Waxahachie, okay? So let's look at the supply schedule. At a higher price, what is up with the quantity supply? It's really high. At a lower price, what is up with that supply? Down. Okay, so our supply curve, does it look look different than our demand curve? Because our demand curve slopes downward, right? That D tells me it goes down. And do y'all see in supply the word up? It slopes upward. And the reason why it slopes upward is because of that positive relationship, right? At a low price, there's low quantity. At a high price, there's a high quantity. That's a positive relationship. And so we see it slopes upward because of that. And so a market supply schedule will look at all the prices supplied to producers in the industry. Okay. This next thing, they've taken it off AP about elasticity. And so there is stuff that deals with elasticity that no matter the price, no matter the price, we are gonna buy it. Can y'all think of something no matter the price, we're gonna buy it? Gas, right? And so does gas go up in price and we're still forced to buy it? So that means gas is inelastic. Last 2 Marches ago, toilet paper, no matter the price, were we buying it? Yes. So that curve, when it's inelastic, our supply curve actually looks vertical. That looks weird, right? But is it that supply curve going up? Yes. I always think of an inelastic curve. It's something that's necessary. It's gas. It's toilet paper. Is it water? I want us to think of Hurricane Ida that just hit in New Orleans. Were there people buying stuff that they necessarily needed, and no matter the price, they were going to buy it? What are some of those things that they bought no matter what?
The charger things.
Oh, the generators. No matter the price, they were going to buy it. So that supply curve was vertical. What else do you think that they were buying no matter the price?
I seen a thing on TikTok where it was like bread, like they were all out of bread.
Yes, they were all out of bread, and people were raising the price, and also with water, bottled water. No matter the price, people were buying it. Do y'all remember when we had COVID, during COVID, the Snowmageddon? Were there things that people were buying? Do y'all remember that?
They were out of milk, ice cream.
Milk, and no matter the price, were you buying it? Yes. And that was inelastic. It will have a vertical curve. Okay? So do y'all get inelastic? I always think I need it. And if I need it, no matter the price, am I paying it? Okay, so do y'all get inelastic? I don't think you'll be tested this on AP because they moved it off our thing. Okay, elastic. That means it's very sensitive to price. Is there something that y'all think of like right now that if its price went up, you're like, I'm not gonna buy it? Chips. You would just go to something else, right? Okay, a lot of people have this with cable today. How many of y'all still have cable TV? Only 2 people in this room. If I were to ask this in the early 2000s, most people would have cable today. In 2000, if I were to ask in the 90s, in the 80s, everybody had cable. Why is it today that only 2 people in our classroom have it? It's expensive, right? A lot of y'all have gone to other things. What have y'all gone to? Was there a substitute? Just like chips, y'all were like, I could go to Goldfish, right? So an elastic supply curve means that it is very sensitive to a change in price. So when a lot of people started seeing that you could get Disney Plus with Hulu and ESPN, did people drop their cable?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm still stuck to the cord because my husband wants to watch football, and I'm like, okay? But that is something, if it's elastic, we're going to see that it stretches, right? That price, and that's what's going to cause people to go to other substitutes. So a unitary per everyone, you'll never be tested on that. But here's our definition about elastic, is that, for example, if the price of apples increases dramatically, could y'all go to another fruit? Yes. And so again, it's going to see that people will go to other fruits, but it's going to take time for them to plant those new trees to be able to get back to our demand curve, that supply curve being able to be going upward in that thing, in that fashion. How do y'all feel about that one? Y'all get supply? Okay, there's a second part to this.